Like, I don't have any special talents. I worked hard every day. Like, that's how I achieved success in this job. Is I loved the job. I cared about it. I didn't want anyone else to have my job, because this is my job. I love it. I'm going to keep it. You know, it's short-term thinking to achieve long-term goals and success. Yeah, like it's pretty random how I got here to where I am, but when you look back, it's kind of like I've been training my whole life for this specific job.
Yeah.
And I found it, you know, and you know, so for me, there's no like life advice or career advice that I can give to people, except to like just do your best, do what you think is good, do what makes you happy. Obviously, you know, you need to make enough money to pay the bills, pay the rent, like put food on the table, but like just make good decisions and kind of follow your whatever it is, like whether it's an inner voice or a higher whatever. Just like do what you think is going to make you happy.
Yeah.
Like I could say that I've exceeded my potential.
True.
You know, like I could make that argument. I don't think that's correct, but I could easily sit down and make that point to someone credibly to where they would believe me that that I've overachieved. And then other people are just like, this guy just gets drunk every day. Like obviously he's not reaching his potential. He's just a jumped up alcoholic. So yeah, it's all about perspective and how you look at it. And yeah, for me, again, I want to be happy in my life, and that includes personal, professional, all the facets. Just try to make good choices.
That's great. So, have you ever studied to do what you do right now, or anything in your life, or is everything just self-taught?
Well, so like I said, it's all life experience that I acquired that kind of coalesced into, again, like this role, this job, the job that I have. Like, it's insane thinking back, like how all of these little choices that I made, and some bigger choices obviously, led me to this company, this position.
Along the way, from back home to over here, and I think this one is that might vary. Like, do you compare yourself with other people?
I mean, I do, but I try not to. You know what I mean? Like if I'm being honest, of course, you're all like, not you're always, but I am always looking around, seeing what other people are doing, getting a little jealous if someone's doing something, like, oh, that's fucking cool. I wish I had thought of that, or I wish I had done that. And I think that's a character flaw in myself and in anybody else who does that. I'm not judging anyone, because I'm openly admitting that I do it myself. But yeah, I try not to. I strive not to be the kind of person who's like looking over their neighbor's fence and like, oh, what's going on over there? Like, as much as I can, I try to focus on what I'm doing, what we're doing as a company, and just doing the best that.
Focus on your lane.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you use that as fuel to like to grow quicker? Not quicker, but like to improve?
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. Like, competition is healthy, especially in a like a numbers driven, like, you can measure sales very easily, right? Like the numbers don't lie. Like, how much beer you sold last week compared to the month before, compared to whatever. So it's a very results oriented business, which again, I'm used to hospitality, where like the result is they had a good time and hopefully they'll come back again. Whereas in sales, it's like, here's how much beer you sold yesterday, here's how much beer you sold last week, here's how much beer you sold last month compared to how much you were supposed to sell. Was it more or less? Like, how much more or less? Why? Like,
but within sales, like we talked about that you go day by day or very short term, but within sales you need to think long term as well, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but for me, like, we have a 5-year plan, we have a 1-year plan. Like, we have plans, we have goals, we have targets, obviously. But for me, the way to achieve those long-term plans is by doing a great job every day. So like, I've heard from a few people who have joined our craft beer industry here in Vietnam, who, when they met me, they're like, "Oh, I've heard a lot about you. I heard you're really good at sales, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, I'm not like Don Draper. Like, I don't have any special talents. I worked hard every day. Like, that's how I achieved success in this job. Is I loved the job. I cared about it. I didn't want anyone else to have my job because this is my job. I love it. I'm going to keep it. So that was what motivated me, was to get up and make sure our clients were happy every day. It was just, it's short-term thinking to achieve long-term goals and success.
I mean, you can't do 0 to 100 in one go. You need to break it up, and 100%. You need to go step by step.
For sure.
Persistence, huh?
100%. Yeah. Go to work every day. Be persistent. Don't be discouraged.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, like, how do you not get discouraged? Because I would think that small steps don't give you big results. Yeah. How do you keep your head in the game? How do you keep yourself motivated to keep going?
I mean, I think I hit on it a little bit. Like, I love my job, and I have a lot of job security now, but early on I didn't. Like, I didn't know how it was going to go. So that motivated me to be like, I need to work my ass off at this and do the best I can. And also because, like, at the time working for John, like, I saw how hard he worked and how much he cared. I'm like, this guy gave me an opportunity. Like, I can't let him down. Like, he like, just seeing his work ethic and his level of passion, like, that ignited something in me as well, to be like, we want to be the best. Like, and it's kind of one thing that we never want to say, like, hey, we're the best craft brewery in Vietnam. Like, it's, if you have to say it, it's probably not true, but we always had that as our goal, to be the best, to be the best that we could do.
Do you have like a favorite philosophy or saying or quote in life that you go by?
One of the ones that's always stuck with me is, like, I was never a big Tolkien guy when I was a kid. Like, it's funny, like, I always liked reading fantasy, but for some reason I never got into Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
But not all those who wander are lost is one that's always stuck with me, because, like, like, that's kind of how I feel about my life. And, like, it's funny, like, my dad had a similar, like, he had a bunch of different jobs when I was a kid, like, and, sometimes because he was moving up, sometimes because he had been let go. And I was talking to my brother one time, and this was back when I was out of school but still bartending, and I wasn't super happy with my life at the time, but I also didn't think I was doing anything wrong. And I felt a little attacked. My brother's asking me about, like, what are your plans for retirement? I'm like, retirement? I'm like, fucking 24. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not even on the... But my brother and I are very different. He's, like, very corporate-minded, like, type A personality. And he said, like, like, our dad, he's like, like, he wandered around, bounced from this to that. Like, I was like, yeah, he's awesome. Like,
what's wrong with it?
Instead of a cautionary tale, I'm like, yeah, like, he bounced around, but he loves his job now. He lives in the city that he loves. Like, he's happy. He found it. I'm like, I'll find it, man. Like, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. And it took some doing, but here I am. And I love my job. I love my life. I love this city. And yeah, like, sometimes you gotta wander a little bit before you figure out where you need to be and what you need to do. Yeah, not all those who wander are lost.
That's a great one.
It's pretty powerful.
That's might that even be what this podcast is about? Like, I wonder.
Change the title. Let's go. It's not too late. No, I'm just kidding.
Wander but not lost.
Yeah. There you go.